This season was slightly inferior to the first one, but it was okay. Well, I did enjoy it, but there were episodes that I did not like. I mostly didn't like how it ended. The season finale, that is. So, when it comes to the story of this season of the show, the Krang are back. And from what I understand, the Turtles were kinda overconfident that they could defeat them again, but their first fight against the Krang in the first episode didn't turn out so well. Yeah. And the Krang had a bunch of canisters of mutagen on their ship, and during their fight with the Turtles, the canisters accidentally got dropped out of their ship, and now each of them were located somewhere in the city. Which is a problem for them. Because not only can mutagen turn humans into mutated creatures, but it can also do the same to normal animals. And unfortunately, after that accident, April's father was the first one to get mutated. And that got April very angry at the Turtles, because it was kind of their fault, and that's why she left them. So, we won't see her with the Turtles until later on in the season.
So, the Turtles' main priority is to clean up their mutagen mess and find a cure for Kirby, April's father, and bring him back to human form.
And while they're at it, they also deal with some other threats. Aside from the Krang, there's also the Shredder and the Foot Clan. There's also the Purple Dragons and also other mutant creatures that were created by the mutagen mess. Yeah. For example, it mutated a bunch of squirrels, which, for the record, that episode was pretty disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. And it also mutated Raphael's pet, Spike, and now he became a character named Slash. And then there's also a character named Pizza Face, which I thought was pretty weird, but I assume he got mutated as well. On top of that, Baxter Stockman also got mutated into a fly, and Dog Pound, he got double mutated, and now he is known as Razar. Yeah, and it definitely made him look a lot more deadlier and freakier.
Also, I can't remember if this character ever appeared in the first season, but there's this character named Neutralizer, who's voiced by Danny Trejo, and I thought he was a pretty cool character. But the character who did return from the first season is the Rat King, with Jeffrey Combs reprising his role.
When it comes to new villains, I think the best character out of all of them is Tiger Claw, voiced by Eric Bauza. He was easily the coolest character out of all the new villains. And by that, you mean in terms of this season or overall? Well, I still have yet to watch the other season, so I don't know yet. But we'll see. And also, while April was away from the Turtles for a while, that's where we finally get introduced to Casey Jones. Because she meets him in high school. At least I think it's high school. It's about time we finally got to see him appear in the show. I've been wondering when he was going to show up. Me too. I also do like the rivalry/friendship between him and Raphael. That was pretty fun to see. They also continued the subplot where Karai turned out to be Splinter's daughter and not the Shredder's. Yep. And throughout most of that subplot, Karai refuses to believe that the Shredder has been lying to her all this time. Until she eventually learns the truth. Yeah, but unfortunately, that subplot didn't really end well for Karai. Because at one point she got captured by the Shredder, then she eventually gets rescued by the Turtles, but then she gets captured again, and then she got mutated into a serpent. That's not so bad. Serpents are cool.
I'm sure they are.
And with that being said, now we get on to the bad qualities. And the first bad quality I want to talk about is, I think the creators of the show had a little bit of an issue with Leonardo's voice casting, because during production, Jason Biggs got fired from the role. And I don't know why. If you guys know why he got fired, let me know. Throughout most of the season, he was voiced by Jason Biggs, but then in the last few episodes, he was replaced by a different person. Now, I have no idea who that person is, I don't even know if he's an actual voice actor or not. Yeah. And then in the next season, they got Seth Green as their official recast for their character. And was he a good replacement? No. No, he wasn't. Ouch. I also have a very confusing quality with April, because apparently she has psychic powers for some reason, and she's apparently half mutant. Therefore, she's immune to mutagen. Like, where did all that come from? I really wish they could have explained that further, you know? Well, the best explanation to this I can think of is the Krang are scientists, in a way, because they do some experiments of sorts, and April has been kidnapped by the Krang multiple times throughout the show. So, maybe that has something to do with it? If so, then that might be the only good explanation to this. They also included a multiverse. Well, it was a one-time thing, but it still counts, because at the ending of that one episode, we got cameo appearances by the Ninja Turtles from the 1987 animated show. Yeah, and I mean, I guess it was nice to see them and all, but what was the point? Fan service? Probably. I also said earlier that I didn't like how the season ended, and the reason why is because, well, let's just say the bad guys won. For now. Yeah, because it turns out that April's best friend from school, voiced by Kate Micucci, was a Krang all this time, and she found the turtle's secret hideout. And after that, the Krang has officially taken over the city, and turned everyone in the city into Krang creatures. Oh, and also, Krang Prime somehow returned. Plus, Leonardo got hurt trying to fight the Shredder, and so did Splinter, and it seemed like Splinter died when he nearly drowned in the sewers, but luckily, Karai saved him. And now, the Turtles, April, and Casey had no other choice but to leave town for the time being. Until they can figure this out, I assume. I just want to point out that I don't mind Krang Prime returning. I think he's cool.
I do wonder what's going to happen next. Like, how are the Turtles going to win the war against the Krang? How are they going to defeat them? For good?
I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this season a 7 out of 10. And now, let's find out what show we're gonna review next. The next show we'll be reviewing is... Batman the Animated Series. My favorite show. I'm trying my best not to cry right now, but it's really difficult. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.